Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is now time for the best real estate podcast online. It is time for Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live with Mike and Dave Elkins, presented by Elite Realty Group. From time to time, right? Let's get to some good stuff here. Let's talk a little real estate. From time to time, we like to hear from you guys, the nation. So we're going to do that today with what we like to call Fan Q&A, where we let you ask some questions and we answer them right here live on the show. So hopefully you will play right along with us today, and if you've got a real estate related questions, you've asked it or we'll ask it as we're going on. But we'll break the ice today, right? We've come prepared.
We'll throw out the first one.
Just in case you guys are a little tight-lipped today, we've come prepared for that right here today. But we're going to take your questions. We get a lot of good questions, and probably one of the things that we do most during the week is literally just answer questions, right? A lot of people, not only you guys that watch the show, not only you all that just text us, send us messages, clients, potential clients, everybody's got questions.
There was a guy just walked in this morning about 9:30.
Yes.
Had questions.
Just walked in the office. He had some questions, right? So, of course, we try to do our best to answer the questions, going way back again to almost a year ago now. That's one of the reasons we wanted to start the show, was to answer your questions, to give you info, make you or allow you, help you be prepared whenever the time comes and you've got a real estate need. You know a little bit more about it because, again, knowledge is power, right? We say that a whole lot. So we want you to have that knowledge. So if you have any questions, we want you to submit them to Cole's monitoring, Dave's monitoring, and we'll try our best to get to each and every one of them. But let's get them started with some, okay? Got one just a while back, all right? Just a while back, and we do get this question. We get asked this a whole lot because there's so many things you hear, right?
Right.
But here's the question that we got a while back, all right? When is the best time to list my home for sale? When's the advantages? Should I do it in the winter? Should I do it in the summer? Is there a particular month? What are the factors, I guess, that affect that, okay?
Right.
So we're going to give you that. Now, remember, everything that we do here on this show is nothing but our opinions, right?
Right.
It isn't legal or financial advice. You need to connect to. You need to call the proper people that do those. They'll definitely give you the legal part. We're just giving you our opinions, okay?
Because I would say the answer to that question is anytime.
I was going to say, when we get asked that question, here's the answer, okay? If you look at what's going on right now in the market, we've talked to you about scenarios all the time, what to do, what not to do. If you do everything the right way, there really isn't a bad time, all right?
No.
If you would add, and the market's good right now, it's tight, inventory's needed, again, so on and so forth. We're not going to go down that road. The question was, when is the best time to list my home for sale? Right.
Statistically.
So we're going to pull out today statistics. We're going to talk to you about that, right? We're going to talk to you about those today. So here's what we found when we looked up that question. Now, again, our answer is anytime, right? Whenever you want to, right? Do it the right way. But here is statistically. You can go to a website called Realty Times, realtytimes.com, I believe it is. But they had a statistic on there that was took between 2014 and 2017. So good info here, right? A 3-year study they looked at. And they found that the month of, or I'm going to put them both together because it was a tie, but the months of July and August were the best months to list and sell your house.
That's true.
Here's the data that they provided with that, all right? Homes that were listed and sold in those months sold on average of a week faster than any other month in the calendar year. So that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Week sooner.
Right.
Save you some money there. But here's the better part. They sold for an average of 4% higher
in July and August
than they did in all the other months. So when they put all that data together, they looked at it and said July and August are the best months to list and sell your house. Who can go against that info, right?
That's right.
So, anytime, we're going to go back to what we said, anytime, it is the month of August.
Hey,
right?
hold on. You okay?
It is the month of August.
Rose has just said hello. Rose. Hello.
Yes.
I have tried calling you, Rose.
Yes, Rose. We're glad you're back with us, Rose, right? Glad you're in here with us. Answer the poll question.
All right, so go back to the thing here.
Yeah.
Would you say, because I'm just making up questions here.
Sure.
But what statistically would you say day of the week?
Oh man, you're
going deep, man. I'm going to go deep.
Yeah, you're going real deep. I don't know that I have like a.
I'm going to say Tuesday. That's just me saying.
You're pulling it out.
No, I'm just saying from me, my personal.
Right.
It seems to me like Mondays is a lot of times a catch-up day. So Tuesdays is the day people really start settling down and looking at a house.
Sure.
And I'd say weekends again too.
Right.
Friday.
Well, you know, when you just look at
Friday.
when people look at houses, it's like anything else. It's prime time, man. You know, so the evenings they look at it prime time, just like TV. That's when people want to look at them. But I don't know that a day of the week.
Sabrina made a good point. People
deep.
want to get moved before school starts.
They do, and I think that's a lot of it. You've got that time frame. School's let out. A lot of people's already went on their vacations, so July and August is like when it happens. You know what I'm saying?
We do have one question here from Kim Harmon.
And they make it happen. All right, so that is the answer. Let's answer that one, and then we'll get to Kim's. So to answer that question, again, that's the same way we answered it before. When is the best time to list and sell your house? Statistics tell us from RealtyTimes.com, July and August, because it'll sell a week faster and for an average of 4% higher.
And I've got pretty good news.
Go ahead.
It's August.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
So that's a good thing.
Yes, and in our little old area right here, inventory is needed now.
Ask people.
That's exactly right. So we got a question coming in now.
It's
number one and only Kim
It's
Harmon.
not really like a good real estate question. I mean, I'm saying it's a good real estate question, but it's not a.
Right.
It's more of a she's telling us we need to do something.
Roll with it, man.
So she said she's got a question, as many houses as we sell. Why don't we have a moving company?
Right.
Yeah. She said we need to start helping people move.
Yeah. You don't understand how many times we've talked about that. And who knows? Because it's on the table, right? It is on the table. So, but that would probably be, like a good idea. But then again, sometimes people say it's conflict of interest too.
Right, yeah.
So we got to be careful on some things.
Got to be careful
about those things.
There's too many laws. There's too many laws.
But that's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
That's like a great idea.
Now we do know some. There was a new one that just started here recently.
Right, there was.
And so we have been using them a couple times, and we've had great luck with them. But it is a new company that just started here in the last 2-3 weeks, maybe.
It's not been long. I'm
3
gonna say
weeks.
a month.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say a month probably. Time gets away. So
yeah.
I'm going to say a month.
So
that is a good idea.
It is a very good idea.
We are taking your questions live right here. Good question by Kim Harmon. That is a good question. We want to hear from some more of you. We've already answered a question we get a lot. When's a good time to list and sell your house? You got any more? We need to go to another one.
Let's go to another one. Let's go to another one.
All right, so here's another one that we get, and I want you to answer this one, all right? Here's another one that we get, and we get this one. This is probably, if there's like a number one, this is probably high on the list, all right? These next two are we get all kinds, right? But people ask us all the time. Remember, we're giving you our opinions today. But what does my credit score need to be? You probably know where I'm going to go here. Yeah. What does my credit score need to be in order for me to qualify to purchase a home? All right. So that's the question. What does my credit score need to be in order for me to qualify to purchase for a home? I'm going to let you take that one, and then I'll weigh in on it myself.
It's simpler than you think.
Sure.
So the easiest thing to do is talk to a lender.
Yes.
Because again, you've heard us say this a million times. We're not lenders. We can't really tell you that aspect of it.
Right.
But I will tell you that it varies per lender.
It does.
It all well, I'm going to say it varies per lender, and I say that, and I don't want to say that because some people's telling. You get sometimes people say, "Well, I talked to so and so, and they said that I've got a 550 credit score, and they can get me 100% loan."
Right.
I'm going to tell you that's probably not true.
Right, yeah.
So I'm saying a lot of times it's this online stuff, and I'm not knocking you if you like online lending. I'm not knocking that.
Right.
But I'm saying
a lot of houses if you use online.
Talk to somebody local, and just make sure. We've always said double check your stuff.
Sure, absolutely.
Shop around.
Shop around, yeah.
So I mean, it really to give a definite answer on what my credit score has to be. There's so many factors.
That's what I was going to say.
Because again, you can have the perfect credit score.
Yes.
And so much in debt that you can't do it.
Yes.
So it's to score. If I had to throw out a number for score, I'd say 640.
Right.
640 would normally qualify you if everything fits in the box.
Sure.
It would normally qualify you to get a 100% loan.
Yes.
Normally everybody can do that.
Right.
With a 640.
Right.
Normally, not everybody.
But we have saw many people that has scores lower than that purchase homes, right?
And in the low fives.
I was going to say you can't. We say this sometimes about the whole one size fits all. You can't do that with this right here because there are so many factors that again determine whether they qualify for a mortgage or not. The house, the down payment, their income, their debt ratios, all of those things qualify or come into what literally at the end of the day.
There's a box.
It goes into that. Yes.
There's a box.
It goes into
everything has to fit into the box or it don't work.
Right.
So, but again, I think because I hear that question a ton,
Right.
and people don't realize how easy of a step it is.
Oh, yeah.
Just to check and see.
Right.
Just to check and see,
Right.
do I fit?
Yes.
Do I fit in there?
And once that's done, I do think then they understand, and we talked about just a few weeks ago the difference between pre-qualified and pre-approved.
Yes.
We talked about those. So you want to do those things, but get back to answer that question, it really is what is the score? You need to talk lender specific, because they're going to take your debt, income, all those things you owe for, scores, the house, all that's going to be through in. And again, sometimes we've saw people that call up and they'll pull a score and nobody will investigate it further and they'll disqualify it.
Right.
When, let me tell you more, I'm buying a $50,000 house and we'll put 30 down or whatever. I'm just throwing out generic numbers. That changes the game, right?
Right, exactly.
That changes the game on those things. So there isn't really that one thing that you can say, this will qualify you, because there isn't that. And you can have an 800.
Right.
And if everything else is not in line, you're not going to qualify.
Yeah, and like I said, I've had so many people say, and I guess a lot of people just don't ask, but I've learned to ask this question,
Right.
is that, again, I'm a... whatever, I try to tell people, by all means, if you can do 100%, do 100%.
Right.
But, so I've learned to ask this question, do you have money to put down if you need it?
Right.
Because, again, I've had those phone calls where people say, I was thinking about trying to buy a house, and my credit score is this. I've been told I can't buy because my credit score is this.
Right.
And so now I've learned to say, well, do you have money to put down?
Sure.
Yeah, I could put money down.
Right.
Well, then you need to talk to a lender.
Changes the
Let's
game.
talk to somebody, because, again, I've seen the low scores be able to buy houses.
Absolutely.
And I've seen the ones with 700s can't.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. We saw both sides
it's so broad.
Yeah, we have saw both sides of that for sure. We are taking your questions
and we've
live.
got one.
All right, here we go.
We've got one.
Good one. Good one.
So
here we
Sabrina
go.
says, do lenders take in consideration your home you're living in will be sold when trying to qualify for a new home?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So, yeah, absolutely they do.
That's why I'm saying the box. Right?
Yeah, they're going to take your house, and they're going to say, okay, you owe $150,000.
Right.
Okay, your home should sell for $200,000.
Right.
You're going to have $50,000 to now roll over to put towards this new one. So now you're going to be showing that as a down payment.
Right. Whatever. Equity in the house.
Equity, yeah.
So on and so forth.
Yeah, you might not need it as a down payment.
Right.
You might be able to take $50,000 to put in your bank account.
Right.
Usually they're going to take that $50,000 and roll over to your new loan.
Probably one of the questions you're going to get when they pull your credit and say, oh, they got a mortgage now. They're going to ask you, what's going to happen with this mortgage?
Yeah, what are you going to do with it?
Because depending on the types of mortgages, some of them you can't have more than one type.
Right.
Some banks only do certain things. You got to be your primary residence. That again is where there's so many factors, man.
Yes.
And people do get so caught up and hung up on the score. The score is important.
Score is important.
Score is important. But that's not the know-all, end-all. It doesn't all do there. I would say it starts there.
If you're definitely trying to move from that house to a new house, then yes, that's going to be they're definitely going to look at that. They're also going to look at it if you got this house and now you want to take out another loan to buy a rental property.
Absolutely,
it's a whole other ball game.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's good information. That's a good question, though. By the way,
so this question here: can you buy? This is me. I'm adding on because you've had this too.
Sure.
People said, I've got a house right now, but I don't really want to sell that one. Mm-hmm. I'd rather go ahead and buy another one, and then once I get that one, get out of this one.
Sure.
Can you do that?
Sure. Yeah.
Ask a lender.
That's right.
Because, again, everybody's circumstances are different. There's bridge loans.
Right.
Totally different things you can do there. But, yes, sometimes you don't have to sell your house.
Right. And
you might not have to sell your house to buy another one.
They're going to look at you individually and figure that out. They're going to figure those things out.
So Sabrina says, what if it doesn't sell, but you've already found a new home?
Right. Talk to a lender. Talk to a lender.
Ask if that's an option.
Yes.
100%. Can you afford to carry two at the same time?
Good thing about this is, and again, getting back to, we try to put this out as much as we can, but a lot of the services that real estate companies real estate agents, realtors, they offer, mortgage people. A lot of people, again, the major players in this that help bring all this together and facilitate it. That initial inquiry about a house, going to look, getting pre-approval, all those things, it doesn't cost you nothing but your time to talk to that professional.
Right.
So, good question on Sabrina's part. Can you do it? It's really just a conversation with the appropriate people. That they'll look at you individually and they'll say, yeah, you can do it.
I was going to say,
or I might not be able to.
I was going to say, let's say, yes, it's possible.
Right.
And yes, it happens.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
Right. That's the question.
That's the question.
Yeah, that's why you got to talk to those people. And again, doesn't cost you nothing but a phone call, a little bit of time to be able to do that. Good questions. We've got two good questions. But
let's go ahead and say this here about that. It's a good idea to go ahead and check on that, because you can always make the offer on the new house with the contingency of your old house selling.
Sure, absolutely.
Very common.
Yeah. Yes, very common. Very common.
I mean, because
a lot of times people don't want those two mortgages.
And people don't want to have to sell this house and have nowhere to go until they go to the new one.
Yeah.
So you want to piggyback.
That's right.
I want to buy this house, but I'm going to write it up as I got to sell this house first.
100%. Good question. Good question. Good answer. Hopefully we're providing you some information of value today. Again, we're taking your questions live right here. We've had a couple good ones. We've brought out a couple that we've had from other people. We got time to do one more? What time? Yeah, let's do one more. That you got one there, or we?
No, I was going to give you a couple of butter biscuits.
All right, let's go. Yeah, let's go back to the poll question real fast. If you just joined in. Again,
so Noah says biscuits.
Biscuits or cornbread? We want to hear from you.
Let's see
Biscuits are winning. I'm really shocked.
Noah says biscuits and butter. Greg Harrison says, hey, buds, I would rather have biscuits for sure.
Right. Man, I can't believe that biscuits is winning that big.
I'm telling you, biscuits.
I really thought it would be close. I really did think it would be
See,
close.
like, you think I think about how many places has a biscuit? Like, I mean, like a cornbread.
Right.
There's Tudor's Biscuit World. Have you ever heard of Tudor's Cornbread World? You know what I mean? Biscuits are demand.
True story. Yeah.
It's who is it? Is it Bojangles or KFC? And then on their sign says "and famous biscuits." That's Bojangles, I think.
I think it is. Yeah.
Do you see anybody that says "and famous cornbread"?
No. But they ain't ate my.
Do you see a vision here?
They ain't ate my cornbread.
We need to put in a cornbread stand.
Cornbread contest, boys. Let's have a cornbread cook-off. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The winner gets a little truck that goes around town and sells the cornbread, right? Yes. We could do that. Any more questions before we take a break?
No, not yet. Unless anybody else got a question.
All right, so let's do one more.
Let's ask one, and then we'll give you time
Let's
to
ask
think
one.
on
You guys got to think on one, because we do get asked this one a lot. That one about the credit score, and this one is probably the ones we get asked the most. All right. One has to do with buying. This one here has to do with selling. We get asked all the time, what can I do? What's the one thing I can do to add value to my house? I want to do something to it. Maybe I'm getting ready to sell it. I want to bring the value up. I want to do something to add value to the house, all right? This one's a little tricky too, but I'm going to tell you the one thing you can normally do, and then we'll talk about a few different things, okay? But a lot of times people say these things. Could I add a pool? All right, that's things we get. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Should I paint? Add new roof, put new windows, so on and so forth.
I keep seeing your reflection in this thing. I think there's a fly.
No, there's something. There was one flying around.
Oh, okay.
So we get asked those things a lot. But here's what we tell people. Usually, one of the things you can do that is a for certain, in most cases, there is an exception to every rule, is by adding square footage onto your home.
That's pretty much that's going to be a guarantee.
In our area, a lot of homes, they have basements that are not finished.
Right.
If that is you, one of the things you can do is go finish an area of your basement and add more living space.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't necessarily mean another bedroom is going to do more than just living space, a bathroom. Those doesn't always say, yeah, we're going to get you more.
Right.
A lot of times it does, but doesn't always. But I'm just saying square footage itself, because you're adding more livable space. And when people price houses and look for houses and appraisals are done, living space finished is a big deal in getting the value of that house. Would you agree with that?
Yes, and let me say this about that for just a minute, because about finishing basements.
Sure.
Okay? Great idea.
Right.
Great idea.
Right.
Take into consideration, though, that a finished basement is not going to give you the exact amount that a main level
Sure. Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm talking about when I go back to price per square foot. If your price per square foot, if your main level sells for $100 a square foot, your basement is not going to give you $100 a square foot. So take that into consideration.
Sure, absolutely.
On your remodel.
Right, and that can be with upstairs too. That varies things.
Yes, if you go up,
those numbers.
Main level is always where it's at.
Yes.
If you go up or down, that price per square
down
foot
just a little bit.
Comes down
yeah,
some.
Just a little bit. And you got to take that into consideration when you're doing it. Where's the remodel taking place? Where's the square footage being added? What is that?
Right.
Again, those things are going to be a factor in. Is that?
I guess what I was saying is if your main levels, that's where you're going to get the majority of
the most.
You don't want to really go in and start doing like super extravagant, crazy stuff to the downstairs,
right?
Because you're not going to probably be able to get that complete return of value,
right? It's going to be best on your main level,
right?
What you're saying.
Yes, if you're going to sink some big money, sink
it
main level.
Sink it on the main level, absolutely, because that's again where most people spend their time. That's where they want that when appraisals, all those things take place. That's what they look at.
And let's talk about swimming pools.
Right, go ahead. Yeah, throw it out there.
So swimming pools, you just said people talk about just swimming pools bring value.
Right.
They bring value.
If the buyer wants
to you,
yeah,
they bring value to you if that's what you want.
Right.
That they bring value to if you have a buyer, if there's a buyer that's looking for a pool.
Right.
On paper, no value.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to say no value.
Sure.
But again,
it's not like you're going to spend $50,000 for a pool and you're going to get $50,000.
An in-ground pool, maybe $5,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it all depends.
That's what I'm saying. But no way, if you spend $50,000 on an in-ground pool, no way you're getting $50,000 back. I'll just go ahead and say it ain't happening.
Yeah,
it ain't happening.
More than likely, that's not happening. I
An above-ground pool, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all so. When you get to those things again about how much, because we get asked, how much does a bathroom add? How much does a pool add? How much does a bedroom add? It's so specific to what kind of bathroom is it? How big is it? A full? Has it got a big tub, a shower? And the same thing with a bedroom. Is this a big bedroom? All those things.
Listen, and what we love to do is if you're thinking about doing something,
yes,
and you want to know what kind of value, let us come look.
Oh yeah.
We'll show you what others because we're going to be able to show you.
Yes, we're going to show you what other people have the same thing.
So it's a smart thing if you're thinking about, and we do this quite often.
Oh yeah,
I know Siobhan's done it here recently.
Yes,
people's thinking about adding a sunroom. Is it going? Am I going to be able to get my value back?
Right.
Let us come look.
Sure, absolutely.
Before you ever spend a dime.
Right. 100%.
Could save you some money.
100%. That is again something we would love to do for you guys. Hopefully we have told you, gave you some good information today. Again, the questions that came in, really good questions. We enjoy interacting with you guys. The biscuits and the cornbread.
Rose says we need to give her a good recipe for some cornbread. We're going to talk to Dad about that.
Yeah, Dad's the cornbread maker.
Cornbread maker.
He can do that, right? So again, glad you guys have tuned in today.
We thank each and every one of you for listening to today's podcast. Tune in for future episodes by subscribing to our channel and get the latest and greatest real estate information right here on Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live, presented by Elite Realty Group. Until next time, have a great and blessed day.